You might not notice it at first. Maybe it's something small, like needing to grab the railing when you step off the curb, or that tiny pause you take before stepping into the shower. You start catching yourself being more careful on the stairs, more deliberate with your steps, more hesitant to walk across an uneven sidewalk. And while a little caution is a good thing, what often lies underneath is something deeper. Fear. Fear of losing balance. Fear of a fall. Fear of what might come next. For many seniors, these quiet shifts in movement become more frequent with age. And it's not just about the risk of injury. It's the loss of confidence that begins to grow. You start second-guessing yourself. Can I carry this? Should I go out today? What if I fall while no one's around? These thoughts aren't imagined. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 adults over 65 experiences a fall each year. And when those falls happen, they can lead to broken bones, hospital visits, and long recovery periods. But perhaps even more painful than the physical impact is the loss of independence that often follows. But here's something most people don't hear enough. You have more control than you think. Strong bones and better balance are not out of reach. They're not reserved for the lucky few. And while movement and physical activity are important, there's something else just as powerful that many people overlook: what you eat. Yes, your bones, your muscles, and even your nerves depend on the nutrients you feed them. And among those nutrients, 3 minerals stand out as essential. They help maintain bone density, keep muscles functioning smoothly, and support the tiny nerve signals that help your body stay upright, steady, and strong. The good news? You don't need expensive supplements or complicated diets. These minerals can be found in everyday foods, things you can buy at your regular grocery store, and add to meals you already enjoy. And with just a few mindful changes, you can start giving your body the raw materials it needs to stay steady on your feet and strong in your bones. I've seen it firsthand. Seniors in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, who felt like their balance was slipping away, regained strength and confidence by making small adjustments to what they eat. It's not magic. It's biology. And once you understand how these minerals work together inside your body, it's easy to make smarter, more supportive choices every single day. Imagine this: walking with less fear, moving through your home with confidence, feeling strong when you carry groceries, climb stairs, or play with your grandkids. It's not just possible. It's something you can start working toward today. And that's exactly what we'll talk about in this video. We're going to break down the 3 most important minerals for seniors who want to protect their bones and improve their balance. For each one, I'll explain what it does, why it matters for your age group, and how to get it from foods you probably already enjoy. I'll also share some simple, real-life ways you can start including them in your daily meals, even if cooking isn't your favorite thing. Because at the end of the day, your health doesn't need to be complicated to be effective. The body thrives on consistency, good fuel, and care. And you deserve to know how to give it exactly that, with compassion, clarity, and confidence. Now that we've set the foundation, let's take a closer look at the 3 minerals your body depends on for strength, stability, and confidence, especially as you age. These aren't trendy health fads. They're time-tested, science-backed building blocks your bones and muscles rely on every single day. If you've ever worried about falling or staying steady on your feet, hit that subscribe button and tell us in the comments, what's your biggest balance concern? Let's begin with the mineral that's most closely tied to the image of strong bones: calcium. Calcium is often mentioned in childhood. Drink your milk so you can grow big and strong. But as we grow older, we don't hear about it as much. And that's a problem. Because the need for calcium doesn't go away. In fact, it increases with age. Your body still relies on calcium every single day to keep your bones dense and your frame supported. And if you're not getting enough, the effects can quietly add up until one small fall causes a major fracture. Here's the thing most people don't realize: your bones are constantly changing. They aren't just hard and fixed. They're living tissue. Just like your skin renews and your muscles repair, your bones break down old cells and rebuild new ones, day in and day out. But after the age of 50, the rebuilding part slows down. We naturally start to lose more bone than we replace. And that process speeds up if your diet doesn't provide the minerals needed to fuel it. Among those minerals, calcium is at the top of the list. Almost all the calcium in your body, around 99% of it, is stored in your bones and teeth. The remaining 1% is found in your blood, muscles, and other tissues, where it plays vital roles in muscle movement, nerve function, blood clotting, and heart rhythm. But here's the catch. If you're not eating enough calcium, your body will take it from your bones to keep your heart beating and your muscles working. That means your bones gradually lose density, a slow, silent process that can go unnoticed for years until a fracture occurs. According to the National Osteoporosis Foundation, by the time most people reach their 70s or 80s, their bone mass can decrease by as much as 25 to 30% if not properly supported. That puts bones at higher risk of breaking, even from everyday activities like slipping on the front step or bumping into a countertop. But the story doesn't end there. The good news is, we can protect our bones by actively supplying the calcium they need, day by day, meal by meal. Let's talk about how. Dairy products are the most well-known sources. A single cup of milk has about 300 milligrams of calcium, and the same goes for a serving of yogurt or a slice of cheese. If you enjoy dairy and digest it well, it can be one of the easiest ways to support your calcium needs. But dairy isn't your only option. Leafy green vegetables like kale, bok choy, and collard greens also contain bioavailable calcium, along with a wealth of other bone-supporting nutrients like vitamin K and magnesium. Spinach does contain calcium too, but it also has a compound called oxalate that can block some of the absorption, so it's still healthy, but best balanced with other calcium sources. Fish with bones, like sardines and canned salmon, may not be as popular, but they're calcium superstars. The tiny edible bones inside those fish are packed with this essential mineral, and they also bring the bonus of omega-3 fats, which help reduce inflammation and support joint health. Fortified plant-based milks are another excellent source. Many almond, soy, and oat milks now have calcium added in amounts equal to or greater than cow's milk. Just check the label. Look for calcium carbonate or calcium citrate listed in the ingredients. And try to choose options that also contain vitamin D, which helps your body absorb calcium more effectively. Tofu, chia seeds, and almonds round out the list. These aren't just trendy health foods. They're rich in calcium, versatile, and easy to include in both meals and snacks. So how do you bring all this into your day in a way that's easy and enjoyable? Start simple. If you like yogurt, try it with sliced banana or berries in the morning. You can even stir in a bit of granola or seeds for texture. Or make a smoothie using fortified almond milk, frozen spinach, and some Greek yogurt. You'll get a creamy, calcium-rich drink that tastes good and supports your bones without any fuss. For lunch, consider a spinach salad topped with chickpeas, shredded cheese, or boiled eggs. If you enjoy sandwiches, add a slice of Swiss or cheddar cheese, or pair your soup with a side of cottage cheese and fruit. Dinner offers more variety. Baked salmon with soft bones is easy to prepare and rich in calcium. You can also make stir-fried tofu with broccoli and carrots, or warm lentil stew with chopped kale mixed in. Add a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese on top. It's more than just flavor, it's functional nutrition. Don't forget snacks. A few almonds in the afternoon. A small glass of milk with dinner. Or a square of fortified dark chocolate that feels like a treat but carries nutritional weight. One of my patients, Lorraine, age 76, used to believe she was eating okay. But when we looked closer, she was barely getting 400 milligrams of calcium per day. That's only a third of what most older adults need. We made 3 small changes: yogurt instead of toast in the morning, almond milk in her tea, and kale added to her weekly soup. In 3 months, her follow-up bone scan showed a mild improvement. Not dramatic, but significant enough to slow progression. More importantly, Lorraine felt more confident walking without her cane. She said, "I just feel stronger inside, like my body's working with me, not against me." That's what calcium does. Quietly, consistently, with every bite and every meal. And while supplements can help if your diet falls short, always ask your doctor first. Food-based calcium is generally better absorbed and comes packaged with other helpful nutrients. Think of food as the foundation. Supplements, if needed, are just the support beams. So whether it's a bowl of yogurt, a handful of almonds, or a leafy green salad at lunch, every time you include calcium-rich foods, you're doing something powerful. You're building a stronger foundation. For your bones. For your balance. For your life. Now let's talk about a mineral that often gets overlooked but plays a powerful, behind-the-scenes role in keeping your bones strong and your balance steady: magnesium. Magnesium isn't as well known as calcium, but in many ways, it's just as important, especially as we age. While calcium forms the structure of our bones, magnesium helps regulate how that structure is built, maintained, and protected over time. Think of magnesium as the quiet architect in the background. It doesn't get the spotlight, but without it, the structure can't hold. According to the National Institutes of Health, magnesium is involved in more than 300 biochemical reactions in the body. That includes helping your bones absorb and use calcium properly, supporting the production of bone-building cells, and controlling the hormones that influence bone density. But that's not all. Magnesium also supports your muscles and nervous system. Two key pieces of the balance puzzle. It helps your muscles contract and relax smoothly, and it helps transmit signals between your nerves and your brain. Without enough magnesium, your muscles may feel tight, stiff, or even crampy. Your reflexes may slow. You might feel more anxious or fatigued. And your body may not respond as quickly when your balance is challenged, like when you trip or turn quickly. That's why low magnesium levels have been linked not only to weaker bones, but also to increased fall risk in seniors. So where can you find magnesium in food? You might be surprised. It's hiding in many everyday ingredients. Nuts and seeds are among the best sources. Almonds, cashews, and especially pumpkin seeds provide generous amounts of magnesium along with healthy fats, fiber, and protein. Just a small handful can give you a significant boost. Leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard are also rich in magnesium, and when you pair them with foods that contain calcium, like cheese or milk, the two minerals work together to enhance each other's benefits. Whole grains, including brown rice, quinoa, oats, and barley, offer steady, slow-digesting carbs along with magnesium, iron, and B vitamins. Beans and lentils are another great source. They're affordable, versatile, and easy to include in soups, stews, or salads. 1 cup of cooked black beans, for example, contains nearly 30% of the recommended daily intake of magnesium. And if you're a chocolate lover, you'll be happy to hear this. Dark chocolate, the kind with 70% cocoa or more, is one of the richest natural sources of magnesium. Just a small square a few times a week can actually support your health, as long as it's enjoyed in moderation. Let's talk about real-world ways to bring magnesium into your routine. Start with breakfast. Try stirring pumpkin seeds or chopped almonds into your oatmeal. Or sprinkle ground flax seeds over yogurt or cereal. If you enjoy smoothies, blend in a handful of spinach or a spoonful of nut butter to give your drink an extra magnesium kick. At lunch, build a salad with leafy greens, cooked lentils, and sunflower seeds. Or make a simple tuna sandwich and enjoy it with a side of quinoa and roasted vegetables. Magnesium doesn't need to be the star of the meal. It quietly works in the background, as long as it's there. Dinner can be just as easy. A serving of brown rice, steamed spinach, and baked chicken gives you a balanced meal with magnesium, protein, and healthy fats. Or try a hearty lentil stew, sprinkled with parsley and a touch of lemon for flavor. Keep a small bowl of roasted chickpeas on hand for snacking. Crunchy, satisfying, and nutrient-packed. And yes, you can treat yourself with purpose. If you're craving something sweet, have a piece of dark chocolate after lunch, just an ounce or so. It's enough to satisfy the craving and give you a dose of magnesium, too. I remember one patient, Samuel, 80 years old and very active for his age, who started experiencing more leg cramps at night and occasional balance wobbles during the day. He wasn't falling, but he said he didn't feel as sure-footed as he used to. We took a look at his meals, and it turned out he wasn't eating many magnesium-rich foods. Together, we added a few simple things: almonds with breakfast, more spinach in his pasta dishes, and quinoa instead of white rice once or twice a week. A month later, he told me, "It's like my body's breathing easier. My legs feel looser, and I don't get that jittery feeling anymore." That's what magnesium does. It supports, it soothes, and it strengthens. Quietly, but powerfully. Now, a quick word of caution. While food-based magnesium is gentle and safe for most people, magnesium supplements can cause digestive issues or interact with certain medications, especially if taken in large doses. Always talk to your doctor before adding a magnesium supplement to your routine. In most cases, food is not only safer, it's more effective, because your body recognizes it and absorbs it better. So as you think about your meals today, ask yourself, does your plate include foods that work for you, not just fill you up? Adding a sprinkle of seeds here, a handful of greens there, or a spoonful of beans to your soup can go a long way in helping your body move with more ease, more balance, and more strength. Magnesium isn't flashy, but it may be the quiet partner your bones and muscles have been missing. The third mineral we need to talk about today is one that often flies under the radar when it comes to bone health and balance, but its impact is both subtle and powerful. That mineral is potassium. You might know potassium as the banana nutrient. And yes, bananas are a good source. But potassium does far more than just help prevent muscle cramps. For older adults, potassium plays a critical role in keeping the entire body in balance. Quite literally. Let's start with what potassium does inside your body. Potassium is an electrolyte, which means it helps regulate fluid balance, nerve signals, and muscle contractions. When your potassium levels are steady, your muscles respond smoothly. Your heart beats in rhythm, and your nervous system communicates clearly with your brain, telling your legs when to move, your arms when to reach, and your body how to stay upright and react to movement. But when potassium levels drop too low, even slightly, things can feel off. You might notice your muscles feel weaker, or your legs feel heavy. Your reactions may slow down. You could feel fatigued, lightheaded, or unsteady on your feet. Over time, chronic low potassium, a condition called hypokalemia, can increase your risk of falls, irregular heart rhythms, and even bone loss. That's right, potassium doesn't just affect your muscles. It also helps protect your bone density. Here's how. A potassium-rich diet helps neutralize acids in your body that can otherwise break down bone tissue. In other words, potassium helps create an environment where your bones stay stronger for longer. A 2013 study published in Osteoporosis International found that adults with higher potassium intake had greater bone mineral density and a significantly lower risk of fractures. And these were not people taking supplements. They were simply eating more potassium-rich foods as part of their daily meals. So where do we find this valuable mineral? Fortunately, potassium is found in a wide variety of everyday foods. Let's begin with fruits. Bananas are the most famous source, but they're just the beginning. Oranges, cantaloupe, apricots, and avocados are also loaded with potassium. Even dried fruits like prunes and raisins contain a decent amount. Vegetables are another excellent source. Sweet potatoes, white potatoes, spinach, tomatoes, and winter squash are particularly high in potassium. A medium-baked potato, with a skin, contains even more potassium than a banana. Beans and legumes, such as kidney beans, black beans, lentils, and soybeans, are also rich in potassium, along with fiber and plant-based protein. And don't forget dairy. Milk and yogurt contain potassium in addition to calcium, making them double beneficial for seniors focused on bone health. Now let's talk about practical ways to bring more potassium into your day, without complicating your routine. Start your morning with fruit. Slice a banana into your oatmeal. Add orange segments to your yogurt. Or make a smoothie with banana, spinach, and almond milk. It's quick, gentle on digestion, and a fantastic way to front-load your potassium for the day. At lunch, enjoy a baked sweet potato with a light sprinkle of cinnamon, or mash one with a bit of olive oil as a side. Add avocado slices to your sandwich or salad. They're creamy, satisfying, and full of healthy fats along with potassium. A black bean soup with diced tomatoes is another easy, one-bowl meal that checks all the boxes. Dinner can be hearty and helpful. Roast white potatoes, with the skin on, and serve them alongside grilled fish or chicken. Steam spinach with garlic and olive oil as a side dish. Or stir lentils and tomato sauce into pasta for a comforting meal that quietly supports your bones and muscles. Snacks count, too. A small bowl of yogurt with raisins. A piece of fruit with a few almonds. Even a handful of dried apricots, in moderation, can support potassium levels. Let me tell you about Ruth, a 79-year-old who loved to garden but had recently been feeling more wobbly on her feet. She hadn't fallen, but she noticed she was moving more slowly and having trouble standing for long stretches. When we reviewed her diet, she was eating very few fruits or vegetables, and her potassium intake was well below the recommended amount. We started small, a banana at breakfast, sweet potatoes twice a week, and avocado on toast once or twice. In just a few weeks, Ruth told me, I'm moving better, like I've got more spring in my step. Her blood pressure even improved slightly, which is another known benefit of potassium. One important note, if you have kidney disease or take certain medications like diuretics or blood pressure pills, your doctor may advise you to monitor your potassium intake carefully. In these cases, too much potassium can be dangerous. So always check in with your healthcare provider before making big dietary changes. But for most older adults, getting more potassium from food is not only safe, it's one of the smartest things you can do for your strength, coordination, and peace of mind. You don't need to eat exotic superfoods or drink fancy juices. You just need to welcome back some of the foods your body already understands. Fruits, vegetables, beans, and wholesome staples that deliver the minerals your bones and muscles crave. Potassium works quietly. It doesn't shout for attention. But give it a place at your table, and it will repay you with steadier feet, more responsive muscles, and the kind of confidence that lets you keep living fully, step by steady step. By now, you've seen just how powerful three often overlooked minerals, calcium, magnesium, and potassium, can be for your body, your balance, and your overall confidence as you move through each day. These minerals aren't magic pills or expensive supplements. They're real, essential nutrients that work quietly in the background, supporting your bones, calming your muscles, and helping your nervous system keep you steady on your feet. And the best part? They're already in the foods you know and love. A bowl of yogurt, a handful of almonds, a sweet potato, a banana, a few cooked greens stirred into your soup. These aren't hard to find or hard to prepare. They're simple. They're accessible. And they're incredibly effective. Strong bones don't come from one good meal or one great week of eating. They're built slowly, meal by meal, over months and years. The same goes for balance and mobility. When you feed your body the right minerals consistently, you give it the tools to rebuild, to stabilize, and to thrive. Imagine walking into the kitchen without hesitation, stepping into the garden without fear, climbing stairs without gripping the railing quite so tightly. That freedom, that independence, doesn't come from luck. It comes from choices. Small ones. Repeated daily. The kind of choices you now know how to make. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share it with a friend. And let us know in the comments, which of these foods will you start adding to your routine today? We're here to support you every step of the way, because strong bones and steady balance aren't just possible, they're within reach.